The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to the Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors, and I'm your host. And we just had a little screw up there, but that's all right. My bad.
Yeah.
And my special guest tonight is Sonny Goodspeed, making his third appearance.
Yeah, third appearance. I should get a SAG card now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in.
Guys, this is going to be fun. Wait till you hear what Sonny did. We're going to get to that in a minute, okay? But we're going to go to fan questions right off the bat.
Perfect.
First question I have to ask, because Mav asked it last, so I'm going to put it first. Ask Sonny why Captain USA never raised his arms in his first match.
What?
And that was you?
That was me. Yeah, I was Captain USA. I was nervous.
Were you?
Yeah, they said I actually jogged into the ring and never raised my arms. I just did this. Yeah, they said I never raised my arms my whole match. So it's something they rib on me about still. But
Yeah.
I think I raised my arms at some point. I had to have because I was victorious.
There
But
you go.
no, actually, I don't think I was. But yeah, I don't know. There's something they ribbed me out. That's great question, man. Great question.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's Mav, though,
Yep.
too, right?
Yep.
He'll get you one way or another. Guess what? He was also the first person that gave me a question, so we're going to go right to this one.
All right.
Ask him how he talked his wife, Betty, into making a conjoined twin costume.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. So Jeff has this idea, Lobster Man Costa. Hey, listen. I probably came home from dinner with my wife one night with Betty, and this was on my voicemail. Hey, Siamese twins. Nobody can pin them. Ha! And then I call him. I go, what the hell do you mean Siamese twins? He goes, we're going to put Rip and Rob in a sweatshirt, and we'll have Betty sew the sleeves together, and they'll just wrestle as Siamese twins. It'll be you and Mav. I was like, okay. So I asked Betty, I said, can you do that? She goes, yeah. That was her answer. Yeah. She did it, and Mav and I wrestled Siamese twins, and he wanted us to take double backdrops.
Yeah.
I said, no friggin' way. So Mav, I think, took a backdrop. I was not part of that. No, I was not going to take a backdrop.
So did they win?
I
Because
honestly,
they're not supposed to be able to be pinned.
I don't even remember. I think the sweatshirt ripped or the mask came off or something. I honestly don't even remember. It was one of Jeff's wacky ideas.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's see if Jeff watches the show. Jeff, hit me up and tell me the answer to that question.
Yeah. I don't remember who. Mav will remember who won. I bet we won because, we were over, so.
Right. That is funny, though. Jeff had a lot of wacky ideas.
A lot of wacky ideas. Siamese twins.
All right. Drew Donovan. First time Drew's asked a question.
Yeah.
Ask you about the infamous Moose Up, Connecticut tuxedo street fight and the guy dressed as a milkman. And I'm not kidding. That was a real thing.
That was a real thing. So Bob Evans, and I think he was channeling Jeff.
Right.
The week before the show, he calls us and he goes, hey, it's going to be a tuxedo match. And I go, okay, I don't know what that is.
Right.
Like, I've seen them, you know what I mean? The Fabulous Ones and everybody else. And
you rip the tuxedo off and that's how you win, right?
Here's the problem, though. I didn't own a tuxedo.
Right. Now you got to spend money.
Ash didn't own a tuxedo. Dave didn't own a tuxedo. We wrestled in our gear. We show up, and Donovan is working as Bryce Andrews then.
Okay.
And he wasn't nearly as big as he is now. He's still in shape, though, young kid. He was wearing a white tuxedo, and he looked like the freaking milkman. It was awesome.
He was the milkman.
He was the milkman, yeah. He was the milkman. It was tremendous.
God. That is hilarious.
Tremendous, yes.
Drew, thanks for the question, and keep them coming, please. I'd love getting new people watching the show.
He's in Florida, so hopefully he's watching.
All right, I hope you watch it, Drew. I think this is how you pronounce his name, Scott Eberson.
Yes.
You know Scott?
Yep.
Scott wants to know my question
We call him Shooter.
Shooter, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Shooter, here we go. My question is, knowing Sonny for so long and being ringside for so many of his matches, this is a two-parter. What was it like teaming with Scott Ashworth as part of Chunky But Funky? And then any good road stories you can share.
So teaming with Ash was just unbelievable. It was like you ever just meet somebody and you just click and you've just like you've known each other your whole lives, right? Yeah, and that's how Ash and I were. we'd come up together, but like in completely, he was a Fall River guy.
Right.
I was the Costa guy, you know what I mean? He was a Eugenio Savannah guy,
Right.
so Silvano Souza guy, and I was the Costa guy. And then when Bob had the idea to put us together, it was a 4th of July outside parade thing. It was like we'd been together forever.
Nice.
It was so much fun. As far as road stories,
Yeah.
nothing like, because we didn't really do a whole lot of like long travels, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
yeah.
we'd go to Vermont or Montreal. So that's my one road story. Jeff got us booked in Canada,
Okay.
right? And at the time I said, well, we'll just drive my wife's car.
Yeah.
She had a little Nissan Sentra. It was me at 300 pounds, Costa at 300 pounds, and Kevin Hughes at 320 pounds.
Wow.
In the car. We're pulling up to the border
Yep.
to enter Canada. And Kevin from the back seat says, you think they'll find my gun in my bag? I'm driving.
Wow.
I immediately, I think I had a BM. I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I go, what do you mean, Kevin? He goes, well, I have it tucked in next to my baking powder for my teeth. So he has a gun and a baggie of baking powder together in his bag.
That's just awesome.
900 pounds in a car
Right.
that barely weighs 900 pounds,
Right.
going through the Canadian border. Luckily, we got through without getting pulled over.
Yeah.
But I was like, he could literally we're 5 cars
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
border,
And that's what he waits.
and
to
that's
tell
what he
you.
waits to. He
Way
goes,
to go,
yeah,
Butch.
yeah. You'll think they'll find that. Yeah, I think they'll find that. Yeah.
I can imagine the
Christ.
stories you have of Kevin Hughes too.
Oh,
But maybe that'll be the next time.
We could do
you're
a
on the
whole
show.
hour of Kevin Hughes stories.
Another new person asking questions. Kimberly Cody says, "Tell them about your sparkly shoes."
I don't know what she means by this.
Oh,
So
Kimberly, you're gonna have to hit me up
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm sure I remember, but I don't.
Right.
I just don't. I've been hitting the head with
Too
chair a lot of
many
chairs.
hits in the
And
head, huh?
yeah, Kim and I worked together. She worked as a server at a restaurant I managed.
Okay.
So I just don't remember. I'm sorry.
That's all right, Kimberly.
sorry.
You're gonna have to tell the story to me on Facebook, okay?
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
Rob Beth wants to know. Ask him about his Nikolai Volkoff match.
So we just lost
The late,
Nikolai, right?
great Nikolai
Yes,
Volkoff.
absolutely. So we're wrestling at Salisbury Beach for
Yep.
a big city. Mike and John Callahan, Sergeant Muldoon, and they go, hey, you're gonna do a tag match with Nikolai, and I think it was Rob actually,
Okay.
and then I had a partner. I go, yeah, okay. So we're sitting there, we're just chatting. Nikolai comes in, and I go, Nikolai, where do you drive from? He goes, oh, from Baltimore. I'm not gonna do the accent. I apologize. He goes, I said, oh, from Baltimore? He goes, yeah. I said, man, that's a long drive. That's like 8-9 hours, right? He goes, yeah. I said, you just drive straight through? He said, yep. I said, what do you do when you get tired? He goes, I get tired, I get out and I do some squats. I go, Jesus Christ. I said, I drive an hour and 10 minutes. I get tired, I pull over, get a sub and a big slam. And he just went off on me. That's why you're a fat piece of... Oh, and now we have to wrestle him, right? And I'm like, oh, are you effing kidding me?
Wow.
So we get in the ring, and we everything's fine.
Yeah.
And you know that spot he used to do? He'd get you in the corner, he'd give you the shots to the gut,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then bail you out.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought he was punching through me. He was hitting me so hard.
Wow.
I don't know if it was because of what I said or just
Yep.
that's how he worked or whatever. I'd never been hit so hard in my life. He was literally just those giant hands just
He is
punching
a big guy.
a giant man.
Yeah.
Just thick. And he was just punching through me. He beals me out. I'm supposed to feed up for a body slam.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking any more of that. I started rolling out. He's chasing after me, kicking me,
He wants-
calling me names. Yeah. So that was Nikolai. But then afterwards, he said, oh, you took a good beating. I said, oh, thanks.
Yeah, right. Like I had a
Yeah,
choice.
like I had a choice. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Like,
He really was an impressive guy, man. You know,
Unbelievable,
I've watched
just
so
like-
much of his stuff over the
he,
years.
and he was always in just that shape. He was just,
Right.
he looked like a keg.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? A
he
keg
drew
with
a lot
legs.
of money in wrestling.
Heck yeah. He's been
Definitely.
around, like, think of the eras he
Oh, yeah.
transcended. You know, he wrestled
I know
Bruno.
for a fact he was in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't start watching until early 70s.
Yeah.
And he had already been in the Mongols by
Yeah, he wrestled Bruno and then wrestled
yeah.
Hogan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
like
wrestled
that's
everyone.
everybody.
I think
Everybody.
he must have wrestled almost every single WWE champ. You know, obviously up to like Hogan.
Up to Hogan. Yeah.
You know, Pedro.
Yeah. Crazy.
Incredible. Now they say too, like they told him they wanted to put a stent in. They said maybe he should have surgery. He turned him down and said nope. And then, you
How
know,
old was he? 70?
70 something. He was still working every weekend.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Every weekend.
So that tells you about what kind of guy he is too, you know, because just, I mean, like, if you're that old, if
Yeah.
you're not producing or if you're not doing something,
Right.
if you're just not a nice guy, nobody's going to book you, you know? If you
Right.
can't come across like an ass
Yeah, yeah.
and still get booked at that age, you know, because what's the draw?
Right.
So he must have been doing something right to get booked
Yeah.
still.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
And a lot of people talk highly of him, too. You know what I mean? Especially in his later years doing the indies
Yeah.
and stuff, you know? I know he was good friends with, you know, Amy Lee? The foul-mouthed woman, right?
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's a sweetheart, too. I've met her so many times. She's so nice. But her and Nikolai were really tight.
Oh, I didn't know
really
that.
tight.
Yeah.
You know?
Amy Lee's out of Jersey, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
around that area. Jersey,
Pennsylvania, something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. She's nothing like the character that she
Really?
in the ring. So not like her at all in real life. Seriously, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
She can have a truck driver mouth,
Sure.
but it's crazy in the ring compared to what she's like in real life.
right.
And her husband's a great guy too. I met him a few times. Nice guy.
Nice.
Next question is from my buddy Nathan Fuller. Thank you, Nathan. He always has questions here for the Ring and All of the Sports. Sonny, what do you think will be the best match at SummerSlam? Good question.
So is it a singles match between, is it AJ and Samoa? Right?
Yes. As far as I know, it's definitely a singles match.
I think that match is going to be great. And then is Seth Rollins and Ziggler working again?
Yes.
Singles?
Yeah.
Who's Drew working? Or is he in
I
that?
don't know. I think Drew's just going to be in the corner. I don't think Drew has a match.
If they let those two just go,
Yeah.
that match is going to be crazy. Samoa Joe and AJ is going to be insane.
Yeah.
And I actually think Brock and Roman's going to be good. Like
I
just
think that's going to be good too.
But
I
the one
do.
I'm really looking forward to is AJ and Samoa Joe.
Me
Like,
too. But I think, and
it's-
I also think the Alexa Bliss Ronda Rousey match might really shock
yeah,
people.
you're
Ronda's
probably
been doing
right.
a great
yeah.
job.
Yeah, for somebody like, yeah.
Doesn't
It's-
look like she holds back. Like when she was doing them arm drags to Alicia Fox,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't want to be her.
No.
'Cause she was legitimately whipping her around
Yeah.
like a rag doll.
See, in the business, we take our own bumps.
Yeah.
I don't think you can with her. She's just you're bumping
Yeah.
whether you want to or not.
Yeah,
I think.
it's incredible.
She's pulling your arm
and
out
I
of
get
the socket.
something that I want to talk to about later on, if we end up having time, about how more female MMA women will probably come to wrestling.
Absolutely,
With
yeah.
especially with the success she's having
Yeah.
and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Next up, we
Crazy.
got Hunter Ward, and I don't think we can answer the way he wants to because he just joined a tag team, but he wants to know who's the best up and coming tag team in New England. He just started being in the tag team like 3 weeks ago.
He did?
Yeah.
This is Cody? No, who's the...
Cody Hunterwood. Yeah.
Cody
He asked
Hunterwood,
me to
okay.
drop the Cody part. So.
Oh, he did? Oh, sorry, Cody. All right. All right, so Hunter Ward. So best up-and-coming tag team in New England. Because of what you tasked me with,
Yeah, yeah.
I just started watching some stuff. That adrenaline rush, super green. I think they're super green, but they have, if they were led correctly,
Right.
they would have some, they're going to be okay.
Yep.
They're going to be good. That Main Street Posse, right?
Little guys,
Main
huh?
State, Main State, yeah, Main State Posse.
Little dudes, but-
The watch I just watched though, is there three of them?
Yeah, there's another guy, but I've never seen him work with them. Every time I've seen them, he wasn't there. Alexander Lee is the third guy.
Okay, so that's one I just watched him and the redheaded kid.
Yeah, Danger Kid.
Yeah, work and some tag match, and I
Yeah.
just caught a little bit of it, and it looked good.
Yeah.
But I know if Chaotic's using them and the guys that book Chaotic are using them and using them well,
Right.
those kids got to be good. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
they
Because
are.
you're
I've
not
seen
you're not booking crap.
Right.
But right now, I'd have to say killing over, man. Just it's got to be Trips and Christian. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
But
and
the tag team division in New England right now really is great. The closers, like I said, adrenaline.
those guys, I'm
They-
sorry, the closers. Those
Wow.
two kids, I've known actually since they broke in.
Yep.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
kids.
Like I said,
And-
do you ever see the Middlesex Express? They're pretty good too.
So I actually met them at one of the restaurants I
guys.
was managing. They came in after doing a show up in Manchester.
Okay.
And I met them there and talked to them, but I've never seen them work.
Right.
So I don't know much about them, but I just talked to them. They seem like decent kids.
Yeah.
But I want to catch all these guys. So now I've changed jobs, so now I have some availability. So I'm going to hopefully get out there and try to catch a lot of these shows now because I miss it. I miss going to these shows.
right.
The camaraderie with the guys you talk to, just the stuff you see. You know, like if you step away from it for a long time,
Yep.
you don't know that you miss it until you see it again. And you're
Right.
like, oh, Christ's sakes.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's good though.
You're going to be my Tony Randall to David Letterman because whenever he had a cancellation, I guess Randall used to live around the corner.
So he would come in?
So he would be on the show.
That's
yep.
that's actually how this was
See
booked
that, guys?
tonight.
If you ever
So
cancel, don't feel bad about it because Sonny will be here.
I will be here.
Yes. All right, next up, must be someone that you know, and I appreciate the question. First time asker. Laurie Weber. She wants to know when and where was your first pro wrestling match and with whom? Was that the infamous?
That was the one where I couldn't raise my hands. Well, the problem was I was carrying 50-pound dumbbells around with me, so that's why I couldn't raise them. So I wrestled Jeff Costa. He was Bruiser Costa at Richard's Catering Hall in Hudson, New Hampshire. It was my first match. It was January 4th, 1994. Wow. And I was Captain USA. And this is the funny thing with this. So Jeff, I wrestled my first year. All I did was wrestle Jeff.
Yeah.
And Big City Mike and Callahan and Butcher Hughes. And my buddy Dave, my best friend Dave, gets to wrestle everybody. He was jealous of me because he thought I was being favored and getting to wrestle these more experienced guys. I was super jealous of him because he was getting to wrestle all these kids that we've seen around and getting to actually do stuff. I was literally being led around by the nose, you know what I mean? Like I was like literally I didn't do a single thing on my own, until a year in. I didn't realize at the time, but Jeff was teaching me how to work. Like I would just listen to him the whole time as a babyface, and just it was like until you step out of it, I didn't even know what I learned. You know what I mean? Until now, they put me in charge of you put together the match, and then I'm like, oh, this is easy. Because I just did what Jeff did. And just. You just listen to the crowd or whatever. But yes, it was weird that we were both jealous of each other, but we're both on parallel paths. It was weird.
Is that DJ Barron you're talking
DJ Barron, Dave. Yep.
Great guy.
Amazing guy.
Next up, we got another kid that asks questions all the time. He used to come on. I used to call him Superfan Dan, but he'd rather be called Wrestling Analyst.
Wrestling
so
Analyst
that's what we'll
Dan.
call him that from now on. But Dan Bullia wants to know, who do you think are the next guys to get signed out of New England to the WWE? It's a two-parter, but we'll just go with that for now.
Okay. So the first one I've seen, I gotta say Christian Casanova. That kid is just, the kid walks like he's a star. When they talk about
see him go up with Triple H too, like as the group like that, that would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, I think Tripp's been around a long time. I think Christian is the up and comer there. One everybody knows, I've only actually seen a handful of times. But from when I saw him years ago to where he is now, JT Dunn. I think that kid is just destined to make money in this business.
Definitely.
Whether it's just working all the indies all over everywhere or getting signed. Another kid who I thought was going to be a moneymaker was Mikey Webb, but I don't know what happened to him.
He don't wrestle much anymore.
Yeah, I think he's a captain of a whaling ship now. At least that's what I'm going to go with. I don't know. I have no idea. That's the story I'm going to tell.
Kid.
Super talented kid. Pretty much anybody coming out of that Brian Fury school. I was at the school, it was a few weeks ago, and I was watching practice. Big Scott was training there on Wednesday nights, and he's a good friend of mine. So I was there watching, and I watched his kid, D.L. Hurst. And I was like,
kid's got a lot of talent.
So much potential. So much potential. He's a young kid, so much potential. And then he goes and that was a Wednesday night, and then that Friday night, he goes and breaks his leg. I mean, that's just a tough break. That's a
no
stupid
pun intended, right?
But yeah, that's terrible. But that kid is potential. Absolutely.
What did you think of Brett Domino too? I don't know if he was there that day,
he wasn't. But I just saw him on a show that Caleb ran down in I don't know, somewhere in Massachusetts. But that kid is good too. He's got I saw him work as a heel. Which I didn't see because I'm like, man, that kid looks like a babyface.
He
looks
really does look like a baby.
He looks like a he looks like my paper boy. You know what I mean? But man, he turned it on as a heel, and I was quite impressed with that kid.
Oh, nice, because I've never seen him work as a heel. I definitely like him as a babyface.
Yeah, I think he was a heel anyway. I don't know, so he came across to me with some heel tendencies. It was good. It was really good. And then there was another kid they called Mortar. I'm sorry, I forget your name. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know that.
But he's a young, thick kid. Bumped like a ton of bricks. Nice. He's going to be all right too. So, yeah, I'm just like I said, anybody pretty much coming out of that Brian Fury school is going to be all right.
Definitely. Well, I want to plug his one-day fantasy camp at the end of the show. I always try to do that because I really believe in it. I think that's just a great thing for Brian
just look at what's coming out of that school, what's been signed. Just out of that school. Whether Brian was there running it at the time or just had a hand in it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
The second part is, who do you believe, this is tough too, Dan, because there's a lot of them. Who are the top 5 guys ever to come from New England? That's a tough question. There's a
A
lot of guys, man.
There's a lot of guys that come from New England. So just, I'm going to say in the past, say whatever, it's 20 years. I'm just going to throw out 5 guys, no particular order, just off the top of my head. Obviously, Triple H.
Yeah.
Grew up right down the road here in Nashua. Kofi.
Yep.
Tommaso.
Yep.
Tommaso, right now to me, I sent him a message the other night after I watched his
the match against Alistair.
insane, right?
Yeah.
So I said, Tommaso, man, I said, you bring me back to when I was a kid watching wrestling. I was always a heel fan.
Yeah.
I was never the babyface fan, right? I enjoyed Bob Backlund and Pedro and stuff, but something about the heels just drew me to him.
Promos, especially promos.
Morocco was my all-time favorite, right? And he just reminds me of, he's just a guy, it's not go-away heat.
Right.
It's like,
It's real heat.
it's real heat.
Yeah.
And when's the last time that's happened?
Right.
Like, when's the last time somebody's actually had real heat?
Right.
And he does such an amazing job with it. Like, his Twitter account is just, he knows how to handle that stuff just so well to make himself come across like a complete a-hole.
Yep.
And it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
He does such a good
So
job
great.
with it.
I remember first time seeing him with the Thomas penmanship stuff.
Yeah.
And it was so silly.
Yeah.
You know? But you could tell he had talent back then. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I saw it.
Right.
But he was talented.
Anybody,
He really was.
anybody that saw him knew that he was, you know what I mean?
Kind of like with Eddie Edwards. The
yeah.
same thing when I saw Eddie.
Yeah. So there's another kid too.
Oh, sorry. I'm throwing things at you.
I got to work Tommaso one time for Mav up in
Right.
Claremont or something like that. And he goes, what do you want to do, Sonny? What do you want to do? I go, well, I'm going over. So why don't you just beat the hell out of me for 10 minutes or whatever, and then I'll just, sneak up on you. He's like, you sure? I said, yeah. Just don't bump me a whole lot. I'm like, just don't bump me a whole lot. And I could just tell then he led the match and just, I did whatever he wanted. And because we're, we're in front of 45 people or whatever, 50 people. But yeah, just some guys you just look at and you can see. But
yeah.
So Eddie Edwards, definitely one of the other ones.
That's 4.
Yeah. And then, who else come out of New England?
You're not going to say Cena? You're not going to leave him out of that?
I am, because
so
he didn't.
Successful.
Yes, but he didn't do any training here, though.
True. No, you're
he
right
didn't do
about
any
that.
training
That's
here,
true.
so-
Sasha? She's pretty damn.
Yeah, there you go. Sasha, Dijaks in the WWE.
Well,
in the NXT.
no knock on anyone that we put in the top 5 because you guys are all phenomenal. All of you.
Todd, Warbit for sure, because that kid's been trudging through stuff for a long time. For him to finally catch a break, and he's worked for it. It wasn't given to him.
Right.
That kid has busted his bags for it.
Oh yeah.
So that's well deserved. He deserves it.
And this will be the last time I say this because I say it all the time and I want to stop saying it, but he was injured so many times he could have easily quit. Mm-hmm. Really. And nobody would have batted an eye because of all the things he went through.
Yeah. There's
now.
guys I talk to now, they're like, oh, I was in training and I hit the turnbuckle wrong and I hurt my back, so I quit. Or I twisted my knee, so I had to quit.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
This kid had all kinds of problems.
Yeah, yeah. Like, that's like, if you talk to him and, he goes, oh, you hurt your knee? Yeah, I had a sliver once. Same thing. Yeah, It's not. That kid's been through some real stuff. So.
And it's phenomenal to see how far he's come.
Yeah.
And the way he's come up, too.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, he's in a tag team with some guy that lived 3,000 miles away from him.
Yeah, right?
If
They're
not
like
more than that.
Texas and New England. And then all of a sudden, they just pair them together. Again, that same type of thing. Like, sometimes you don't know what you're missing.
Right.
And then you're there, and it's like, this is it. This is real life.
I saw an interview with them both, and they said, how did it get together? And they said how they wrestled in the finals of the Ring of Honor
top prospect
tournament, and they beat the holy hell out of each other and said, we should team up and just beat up everybody else.
Yeah.
And, I mean, honestly, if they're not the best tag team right now, they're easily in the top 5, for sure, in my eyes at least.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
just because he's local either,
Right.
because it's the truth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would 100% agree with that. So.
Absolutely.
But as far as Cena, though, he's a West Coast guy.
No, true.
He
No,
grew up
you're
here.
right about that. You
Grew
are.
up
Yeah,
here,
I
but-
understand that. Yep. That was a great question too, Dan, by the way.
very good question,
Now,
Dan.
this guy's never asked a question here, and I'm surprised he did. We've talked about him quite a bit already. Mr. Brian Fury.
Yeah.
How awesome was our tag match in Lawrence for Chaotic? And then there's another question, but we'll get to that after.
That tag match was me and Heresy against him and Makazi.
Yeah,
And out of all the tag matches I've had, that was definitely one of them.
right.
No, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were so easy to work with. Like,
Right.
I mean, Makazi,
He's really good too.
really good. Like, I underestimated how good he actually was.
Right.
And Brian, I always knew was going to be good.
Yep.
In that match itself, though, we were fodder for the biggest story they were doing. you know, they were biggest. We were fodder for a bigger story there.
Right.
They were just on the heel turn with Brian, and so we were just there,
Right.
you know, just to feed into the story. But it was a good match. It was easy to work with them.
Nice. Yeah, Brian's
I know what's
phenomenal.
coming next.
And Kid McCarthy. You know, like you said, like you didn't expect him to be as good as he was. That kid was really good.
Yeah.
And he's in the WWE.
Yeah.
Just not wrestling.
Just not wrestling,
It's a
but he has a
seamstress, right? Something like that?
Yeah, he gets a paycheck from the WWE.
Nice. Did your wife Betty teach him that?
No, that kid was doing it from
Was
day
he really?
one. Yeah, him like
Probably learned from his mom or grandmother when he was a kid.
somebody.
You know?
Yeah. It's
pretty cool.
Making gears.
Oh, yeah.
It's expensive to order gear. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I was always a gear mark and a boot mark.
Yep.
I'd be like, oh, I got a show coming up this weekend. I could use a new pair of white boots. So I'd call, rush order them, pay an extra $100 to have them rush ordered, wear them twice, and then go, bah, and then put them away. My wife hates me for that.
Yeah.
You know, but I had, I don't know, like 11 pair of boots at one point.
Right.
I had all $350 a pair. Wow. Yeah. It's
No
not
wonder why
cheap.
she wasn't very happy.
Yeah. No divorce papers yet, though. So I'm lucky.
That's good. I think you're all set on
Yeah.
that, hopefully.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
Second part is how come Kay Bosch didn't stick around? I don't even know who Kay. Is that just a rib like kibosh?
It was, okay, so that's what it was, but it was Steve Bradley. He goes, Sonny, you interested in working? And I'm like, you know, like,
Yeah.
whatever. He goes, I have this idea. He goes, I want you to be Kay Bosch. You know, like kibosh. He goes, but I just want you to come out and, you know, the running charge in the corner.
Yeah.
Right? But to all the women. He goes, but I want you to do it on the outside of the ring. So I go, you want me to just schmoz them on the outside of the ring post? He's like, yeah. He goes, and then we'll start a feud with you and D. Do you remember D?
No.
So D was Kevin Landry under a hood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Kevin was all sorts of jacked up.
Oh, yeah.
And they just put him under a hood and they called him the Monster D.
He was a nice guy, too.
There's rumors that it was for D-ball. That's what the D was standing for, but I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, so I did that for a little bit, and then it just got weird. Like I would find out about a booking, like, you know, the show's on Saturday. He'd text me on Friday, go, hey, you gonna be there tomorrow? I'm like, no man, I already
Right.
took another booking, or I got
Right.
something going on. So no, that's why K-Bosh would.
Nice. Now,
Way.
did you work for him like quite a few times, or just a handful?
A handful of times, but
Yeah.
I went up. I was at Bradley's first show
Right.
at WFA in Littleton there, and I got to tell you, I went home that night, and I from Littleton, it's a 2-hour drive to my house.
Yeah.
It was one of those nights where you just come back and you're like, wow, that was something special.
Right.
Was everything perfect? No.
Right.
But the atmosphere,
Right.
the vibe in the locker room.
Yeah.
You know, they always talk about Paul Heyman's like
Speeches.
ability.
Yeah.
Ability to.
Bradley was like that.
Yeah. Like just everybody in the locker room would have taken a bullet for him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They just were.
That's awesome.
It was crazy.
I
And,
only went to 2 of his shows.
and I don't know how long that lasted.
Yeah.
But I know for the first few shows it was like that. Guys were just like,
Nice.
you know, Bradley was like a cult leader almost.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It was very cult-like. It was
That's really cool because
That's
he was
crazy.
a hell of a talent.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
sat here one day and I said that, you know, it might have been a post saying, you know, if he got signed to the WWE, he'd be so well known. Somebody took it the wrong way. What I meant was he'd be more known because of
Yeah.
the platform,
Yep.
and he completely would have deserved it because
Yeah.
he was that good.
Yeah, when they signed him, they didn't
Yeah.
have that platform then.
Right.
They didn't know what to do with him.
Yep.
They just wanted to make sure that nobody else signed him.
Right.
So they're like, we got to sign this kid, but we
Yep.
don't know what the hell we're going to do with him. They send him to Memphis.
Yeah,
Then they
when
send
he
him.
feuded with Angle. He helped Kurt Angle
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, absolutely. They sent him to Puerto Rico and forgot about him because
Right.
they just kept sending him a paycheck, out of sight, out of mind. He was there for a year, and
Right.
finally he calls. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing with me?" You know,
Right.
that was one of my favorite stories he told us. It was funny.
Yeah, now he was so talented, man. It was such
Very
a
good.
shame. And he, trained a lot of guys around here.
Yeah, and Brian Fury is one of those guys, one of
Yep.
the descendants, and just living on, and just, man, I know if Steve was around, Steve would be so proud.
Right.
Well, I actually texted Brian this a while back. I said, Steve would either tell you that he's super proud of you and doing a good job,
Yeah.
or tell you that you're completely retarded for doing what he's doing,
Right.
you know? Because he's not only runs the promotion, he
Yeah.
runs the school, and
Yep.
That's a huge undertaking.
Oh,
you
I
know?
can imagine, yeah.
But Brian's got the determination. He's got
Right.
the mindset to do it. So Brian's smart kid. So.
Right. No, it's awesome too.
Yeah.
And when they sold the company, he really went to the right guy, like you just said too.
Yeah.
He has the school now. He has a platform for these kids
Right.
to work. You know, and I love that. That's just
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's great if you can train guys, but then
Yeah.
you got to be able to get them
Exactly.
work. You know,
That's unreal.
It's one thing to like. I could take you, Leo, in a weekend, teach you all the moves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't learn to start working until you start to work. You
Right,
know?
right.
And that's the idea. Like
Yeah.
so, when these guys have matches at school, you know, not in front of people.
Right.
It's way different.
Oh, I can
your match,
imagine.
your match in
'cause you
school.
don't get no reaction.
Right, your match in school could be great.
Yeah.
You put that in front of people though, and if they don't respond to it, you're
Right.
like, oh Christ, you know, it's just completely different. So working in front of whether it's 25 people or 225 people, you know, it's just different.
Nice.
So it's good. But Brian's got a great thing going there, and he's doing a hell of a job.
Sure
So,
is, man. I'd like to get him on here someday. Maybe you
Yeah.
can help me with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Next question is from, okay, I got to say this right because I always say it wrong. He's a Frenchman. Jesse Martineau. I said it wrong already. I know I did.
Oh, that sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jesse, if it came out wrong. I always do it. I'm bad with names. How is the business different today than when you were first introduced to it? We got to hurry up through these questions.
This is great. This is actually a great question because I was thinking about this the other day. Because I was thinking about like when I go to the school
Yep.
and you know work with the kids, whatever, just talk to the kids. What I did, the
Yeah.
way I was brought in 24 years ago.
Yep.
The business honestly is completely different now. It used to be, you know, you told the story and you still tell a story.
Right.
But everybody knows the story. The babyface
Yep.
shines at the beginning, gets beat up in the middle,
Yep.
comes back and wins, right?
Right.
That's how it's been for
Yeah.
forever, right? Still kind of that way, but the way it's all put together is completely different now.
Right.
The style is just completely changed. I think it's a faster paced style.
Yep.
And they still tell stories, just different from when I was telling stories. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my story would be like, oh, he's taking out my arm or taking out my
Yeah.
knee, you know? And now it's just different.
Yeah.
I think it's not better or worse,
Right.
just completely different,
Just
but I can appreciate it.
Right.
And it actually took me, I was going to Shakara shows with Big Scott
Yep.
and Joey Eastman. And I was like, I don't understand this comic book style.
Yeah, yeah.
I just didn't understand it.
Right.
And then he goes, just take it for what it is and just have fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess, like if I'm not being a traditionalist
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just watch it from the outside, that's freaking fun. And it's fun. And they're the masters of telling
Yeah.
stories. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like from the start, 10 years ago, whatever it was, they're still telling the same story.
Yeah.
And Quackenbush has an end to the story.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a pretty
it's
smart
insane.
guy.
Another genius guy. Yeah.
Right now, we're just gonna. I'm sorry, guys, if we don't get your question. I'm gonna ask this last question real quick,
Sure.
and then we'll do the booking thing and come back to the questions if we
Okay.
have time. This is from Chloe Goodspeed. Who's your favorite daughter? And Terry Lynn Kroll says, haha, I don't know if you like the answer. Is
My
Terry
favorite,
Lynn your sister, your daughter too?
Chloe's my daughter.
Yeah, I know that.
Terry is my daughter's boyfriend's mother.
Okay.
So I don't have a favorite daughter. I love them both equally.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I am with mine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to say, right?
Right.
I'll tell you off the air who my
Okay.
favorites are.
Guys, listen, Justin, David, Dan, we'll get to them, I guarantee it. Just bear with us here. So, Sonny,
Yeah.
tell us about the book and things. Am I going to have a fifth show?
You are.
All right.
So,
let's
okay,
hear it.
so Leo's idea was, he goes, I'm going to give you a couple of guys to put together. He goes, I have enough money to run 6 shows.
Four.
Oh, four shows. Sorry, four shows. He goes, I want to put together 4 shows. He goes, doesn't matter, whatever it is, but he goes, put these handful of guys.
6 guys.
6 guys, and you could do whatever you want with them and whatever. So the 6 guys were AG,
Yeah,
retrosexual,
Anthony Green.
right? Anthony Green,
Killing Over.
Killing Over. So that's Triplicious and Christian Casanova.
Yep. And then Richard Holiday.
Richard Holiday.
And the Mainstay Posse.
And the Mainstay Posse. So immediately I thought, so he did me wrong because he gave me 2 heels, 2
Yeah.
singles, 2
Yep.
single heels. But then I thought about it, like I go, oh, AG, be perfect. I know he's working for Chaotic.
Yep.
I haven't been to a Chaotic show in a long time, but I see Julian's girlfriend there.
Yes.
Susanna. She was on the show,
Great
right?
kid. Yeah, I like Susanna.
I have her out doing the first show, whatever, just doing interviews, ringside interviews, right?
Nice.
AG comes out at the beginning of the show, says he's looking for a new honey,
Yeah.
right? So he starts feeding into the, maybe this one's going to be my honey, going to
Yeah.
be my honey. She's smart, defends herself first, right? She's
Right.
like, it's the old Jake Roberts, Rick
Yeah.
Rude thing, right? What do you mean you don't want to kiss me, right? So She turns him down, laughs it off at first. Then maybe the next show, he gets a little bit like, hey, listen, like, you don't really have a choice. This is,
Right.
You're my new honey or whatever. And then by the fourth show, Julian's all geared up. Because Julian, that kid.
Oh, he's a great worker, man.
So good. Yeah.
So talented.
So good. I don't know why he stopped. I really don't know his story.
Right.
But I just saw the chaotic countdown. He did a little spot,
That was
and the
incredible.
people
I was there.
came up for him, right?
It was awesome.
So that kid can still go.
Yes,
so
he can.
I would do the whole thing, defend the honor thing, right?
Yep.
So boom.
like that.
I thought this was 6 shows. So now it's
all right, though. You can do the 6.
Feels
It's
a little
okay.
rushed, so we'll do 6 shows. But you
Yeah.
drag that over to 6 shows, and in the meantime, you just have Anthony just working
Whoever.
local guys, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Richard Holiday needs a strong babyface to work with.
Yep.
And honestly, the only one that I can actually think of doing, like working with him, because I watched a little bit of his stuff.
Yep.
His move is good. He looks lazy when he's taking
Okay.
a beating. You know what
Yep.
I mean? He looks tight and up for it when he's on offense.
Right.
When it's time for him to put the shine on, for the other guy to shine, he looks a little lazy.
Yep.
So I would have to have somebody that would drive him.
Right.
I know he's not working, but Brian Fury would be that guy. Alex Sirion
Yeah.
be that guy. As far as other baby faces, like, again, I've been out of it so long, I don't really
Yeah.
know a whole lot of other guys, and that's just off the top of my head. But those are the guys that, like, I would just build around that
Right.
and just build a feud. The tag team, the 2 tag teams you gave me. Awesome. So I planned this over 6 shows, and I brought in the closers, and I brought in
Nice. Because
the
I
adrenaline.
asked for them.
Yes, the adrenaline rush.
Yes,
right?
I asked for them too.
So all 4 of those teams,
Yep.
minus Trips and Christian,
Okay.
the other 3 can trend, they can work babyface or heel, right?
Right.
So first show you have 2 of them pair off.
Yeah.
Next show you have the other 2 pair off.
Yeah.
The next show you have, so there's 3 different matches you can have,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
boom, so you do that, right? So everybody works each other. And then you do a 3-way with 3 of them, one out on the outside, runs in, right?
Right.
Then you do a 3-way, the other team runs
Same
in.
thing.
Big final for the 6th show.
Yeah.
You do a 4-way, like ladder match or something,
Yeah.
right?
For the belts. Something like
Belts,
that.
something, contracts,
Okay.
money, something,
Yep.
right? Some kind of thing. So, and then just because I think that all 4 of those guys would tear up. The whole story being told, though, the whole time over those 6 shows, though,
Yep.
is Christian and Trips don't actually win. They never win, right? And by the end of it, Christian turns babyface.
Whoa.
So now you come back because I think Christian I think Christian is he's going to be a star.
I do
He's going to be Shawn Michaels, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no
But he's going to
doubt.
be a babyface. So he turns off.
Okay.
You come back for the following show, you do a little run with him and Trips.
Yeah.
By the end of that, 10 shows in, Christian's your main guy, right?
Right.
Christian's your main guy, and now he can work with Richard Holiday, and he can work with AG. And,
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And all those other guys. The other thing, and I know you didn't mention this,
Yeah.
but Congo. So Congo, I don't know why this kid doesn't work more.
Yeah.
I just watched him work a match with this big kid out of Maryland, Paul Jardine or something like that
Okay.
for Caleb, right? He's a big kid,
Right.
good-looking kid. They worked the match. The finish got screwed up. They called the finish in the match, and it came off perfectly. And Congo is so underrated. Like,
Right.
I don't know if he's underrated or he just doesn't take bookings. But that
don't
kid
see
should be
him around
working.
a lot,
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
kid should just be working everywhere.
Right.
He plays the perfect big man.
Yeah.
He can move.
Yep.
He knows when to slow down. He knows when to bring it up. And I love this finish. Johnny Idol fed it to me one time. He got it from a tag match, I think, with Pat Patterson or whatever.
Okay.
Battling on the outside. The babyface on the heel.
Yep.
Patterson's rocking and rolling, right? Bing, they're getting counted. Now they're on the apron, right? 7.
Ah,
Bing,
yeah.
bing, bing. 10, right? When the 10 shot comes, when the 10 bell comes, Patterson gives him the big right. The heel takes the bump onto the inside.
Yeah.
Bumps, he's out, but he gets his hand raised.
Yeah.
Because Patterson got
back
counted
in the
out,
ring.
right? So at the same thing, do it, just bring it up a notch and bring it into the 2020s or whatever, or wherever we're at. We have Congo setting up this Paul Jardine kid
Yep.
up on the ropes, And now they're battling in the corner, but on the outside, doing the same thing.
Right.
Jardine hip tosses Congo. Congo takes a big bump into the ring,
Yep.
but gets counted out. So now you can bring him back a second time, right?
Yes.
And then you do a DQ finish maybe, and then you just build it up like
Yep.
that, and then you bring it back to finally you put the babyface over,
Right.
And now you got another star in Paul Jardine, but you don't kill your heel in Congo,
Right.
And Congo go on to work with Christian Casanova and
Yeah.
and any of these guys, right?
Yep.
Because that kid, like I said, he's a
There's
kid's
no
a
doubt
beast.
he's gonna,
Yeah, the
he's
kid's a
gonna
beast,
make
man.
it. There's no
And it
doubt.
says when I did talk to him at this last show, he said he took
Yeah.
a new job and wasn't able to get a whole lot of weekends off, so
Right.
maybe that's why he's not. But I don't know if he's actively pushing himself. I don't know if he has a confidence in himself. But
Yeah.
I thought about putting my boots back on and
to
lacing back
wrestle,
up to work a program with this kid because I'm like, I could have so much fun.
Right.
So much fun. It would be great, but we would make money. I think.
Oh yeah. Last time I saw him, I went to the Fenway show last year, and he actually wrestled Josh Briggs, and Susanna was with Josh that day.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
Yeah.
He's really good. That's another kid that's really good.
See,
too,
and I've never
Briggs.
seen him live. I've only
He
seen
really
him.
is. Wow.
Yeah, I've heard he's already is he signed by Evolve or something, or is
Oh
he?
yes, he's with Evolve. He's been and he wrestles down at the Monster Factory for
Yeah.
Danny Cage.
Yep.
Yeah, he's all over the place, man.
Yeah.
And he's really talented. You said you haven't gone to a show, but if you want to go to Summer Chaos, man, I'm going.
I think on the 24th, right?
Yeah, me and my buddy Dan, we're definitely going.
Yeah.
Man. I'll let you know.
Yeah,
It'll
absolutely.
Be awesome.
I'll contact Brian. I'll see if he can hold me a ticket.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to hook
See
you
that?
up. So, and I didn't mention any women or anything. And I was glad that you brought in Susanna for that. Which
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to be ecstatic because she's not doing much.
Yeah.
You
right.
know?
And I
And-
don't know if she even works. Does she even work, or does
No,
she
well,
like?
she's worked a few things. Yeah, she worked the
So she
Fenway
could
show.
do some
She's
stuff,
been
right?
She did some work for Lucky Pro.
Yep.
And just recently, she was somewhere else. I'm sorry, Suzanne, I can't remember, but she did some work a couple weeks ago.
So there you go. So now you can take AG
Yep.
and one of his platinum honeys,
Yeah.
and Julian and Susanna, right?
Right.
And you can do mixed
Yep.
tag matches. You can do so much. You can literally get 10 shows out of that. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Easy beans. So
Yeah.
I think that would work. But yeah, so I didn't know that Susanna actually worked either.
Yeah, she does.
So I just
and
didn't know if she-
I'll tell you though, man, that's just awesome stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it really is.
It's not like, I don't want to say it's simple, anybody can do it, but just knowing like, and I felt Richard Holiday, I don't know where he came
Yeah.
from, I don't know who trained him or anything like that.
Rhode Island.
Okay, so,
Rhode
and
Island.
I'm sorry, I apologize. When I say you look, I didn't mean lazy, like lazy in the sense that I'm lazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? My wife tells me I'm lazy, but lazy
Me
like,
too. I get that.
when they're getting the heat on you, I think you could just be a little more intense. I don't know if you're watching this. I don't know if anybody that watches this knows you. That's my feeling. I apologize if I offend you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you know something? If you're going to be in the wrestling business, you definitely got to have thick skin.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, no, I
right?
know what you're saying,
Like,
yeah.
I'm all up for my stuff.
Right.
But now it's for your time to shine. I'm just thinking about my stuff.
Right.
You
I'll
know?
tell you, man, he is good. He won the Super 8 this year.
Oh, he
You
did?
knew that. Yeah.
How long has
Yeah.
he been working?
Just a couple of years. As far
Because
as
he
I
looks.
know, a couple of years, man.
He definitely's got the look.
and he just
he's a
debuted
big
for
kid.
Chaotic, you know.
I did
That
see
was
that
one of the
too.
reasons
Yeah.
why I put him in there, because a lot of people around here are going to get to know this kid quickly.
Yeah.
Because he's very talented, man.
That's good.
I think Jose Perez might have had a little helping of him down there.
Okay.
You know, obviously he does work for the XWA, and I know Jose's always down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if Mike
I didn't know if he was like
Antonucci
a-
owns, I
okay.
think, XWA.
I didn't know if he
think.
was like a Paul Roma guy or something.
He easily could be. He
And is that who
easily could
Adrenaline
be.
Rush is?
Yeah, they're. I think they were trained by Rome, but they're a good team, huh?
Yeah. So they
They
were.
really are.
They looked again like just
Yeah.
green.
Yep.
They just need experience, but they understand. I think they understand what the tag team, you know, what a tag team is.
Right.
I've never seen them other than I just watched a couple of matches
Yeah.
of them. I don't know how big they are.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, Daniel's a little taller than me, and Keith's a good size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they're a really good team. I
Good.
think they're
I'll
on
have
their
to
way
check
up.
'em out.
They wrestle
Good.
a lot for NEW out in Connecticut.
yeah.
So-
That's a Michael Bryan show, right?
Yeah,
so-
Michael Bryan, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we definitely have time, guys, for the questions, but
I ran through that quick. I apologize.
No, that's cool. I just want to ask you about this because he was booked in that little thing. I love the closers.
I got to tell you, the
Seriously.
closers. I think
Wow.
Justin Tunas is that kid's like a 25-year veteran.
Yep.
In a 10-year veteran's body. You know what I mean?
Right,
He understands wrestling. He puts on shows down in like Hadley area, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, he has that. Is it the PAPV or something? Something like
I
that.
forget which one is his.
Pioneer
but
Valley, I think.
something
that's
like
what
that,
it is.
right? And the way he puts together shows,
Yeah.
he's a smart kid.
Yep.
And then his partner, Brad Hollister,
Big
is just
bacon, baby.
Yeah, that kid's
With a
just,
name like that, how could we not love him?
he's a freaking monster. That kid is like
He is.
unbelievably strong.
Yeah.
Like Like, and they're entertaining
Yeah,
as all hell.
they
They're
are.
entertaining as all hell. As baby faces or heels. Justin definitely knows how to entice a crowd and garner some heat.
Right.
You know, doing that sexy Jesus thing.
Yeah.
Like, just
Kid's awesome, man. I
he's
really like
good,
them a
yeah.
lot. You
And
know?
the other thing is too, I think they're both legitimate like amateur wrestlers, so they
Oh,
have like
really?
a
See, I did not know
I think
that.
they both have legitimate backgrounds. and-
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I
and,
like those guys a
but
lot. I
those
like
two are-
Adrenaline Rush a lot too.
Yeah,
I do.
The closers though to me are like I definitely one of those teams that like I just don't think you get enough bookings. Like
Right.
you know, like I see every now and again Top Rope brings them in or somebody else brings them in. Those kids should be working everywhere.
Everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And wrestling everyone
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because they're that good.
Yeah,
Like,
they are.
I think that is that good. So, and I think that says a lot for their training. I know that
Yeah.
Aaron Morrison
Yeah.
and Idol. And
Right.
I don't know if Kevin Landry did, but like Heresy and
Yeah.
and Tom Matera,
Yep.
Antonio Thomas had some. I think they all had hands in their training.
Nice.
So, you know, you can't go wrong with that crew.
No, you can't.
go
Definitely
wrong,
not.
so.
And they,
good.
you know, and I'd love to see them working more around here, like
Yeah.
because they are that good. Sheldon's starting up again, so Sheldon, book up. We're actually, me and Dan's gonna actually go to Sheldon's first show. when
When's he
comes
running?
back. Dan told me I want to say September, maybe. I think
Really?
said.
Where's he
Yeah.
running at?
I don't
Do you
know.
know?
I don't know that, but I just know that Dan hit me up the other day telling me Sheldon's running again. I want to go. I'm like, yeah, we'll go. Sheldon's a great guy. He's always treated me,
Yeah.
really good.
Sheldon's another one who's he's been around a long time.
A long time.
A
It was
long
great
time.
having him on here.
I can imagine.
Seriously.
Yeah,
It
I
really
can imagine.
was.
The
It
guy's
was
been around
awesome.
and knows a ton of people.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, think of how many years he was just running.
Right.
Even with the hiatuses in between
yep.
or whatever, and how many people have come through there.
Yeah.
Like we were booking Doug Williams.
Right. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we booked Doug Williams.
You got him down here so he could go wrestle for Ring of Honor after.
Yeah. We booked Frankie Kazarian against John Cena.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when they were both out here visiting.
Right.
We had the Briscoes. We had Jody Fleisch
Yeah, Jody Fleisch.
Jody Fleisch
Yep.
and Johnny Storm or
Johnny
something
Storm,
from
yeah.
England against
That's
the Briscoes,
incredible.
right?
That's some
We had
great
the
wrestlers
Briscoes.
you just
We had the
named.
Briscoes literally when they looked like they were just got out of ninth grade class.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like math
Jay and
class.
Mark is so good.
Yeah. They were so green and so
Right.
new then. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they drove up from Maryland and worked, and we had this other team out of Canada, the All Nighters.
Oh, yeah. TJ Cannon and Bruce Maxwell.
Nope.
No, wait a minute. What was the names again?
The All Nighters. One of
Oh,
them was dating or
Joey-
married to Joey
Joey
Mercury.
Knight.
Joey
Joey
Knight.
Knight, I'm sorry, yeah.
Joey Knight. I think one of them was married to Beth Phoenix
I
or
think so,
dating
yeah.
or something
Yep.
at one point, and because she used to come down for the shows
Yep.
as well. I think about the talent that came through there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just crazy. I remember being in the locker room one time. I'm booking,
Yep.
and Damian Sandow, Aaron comes in,
Yep.
and he's introduced himself, and he's like, "I'd really like to get on the shows." I said, "Well," I'd love to use you because you look great. I've seen
Right.
your work. You're phenomenal." But I've got a million guys that are loyal to me, and you're loyal to Chaotic. I can't bring you in because I'm not going to knock you off,
Right.
you know, and just bring you in for a couple shows and just
Yep.
knock you off. So, like, I was turning away guys like Damian Sandow.
incredible
You know what I mean?
wrestlers. Yeah, yeah.
I was turning away guys like John Walters at the time because,
Yep.
again, there was like the Chaotic crew and then there
Yep.
was the Sheldon crew. And we had Wagner Brown, we had
Yep.
Mav, we had Alex, we had Bob. We had the Egomaniacs, Mike Steele and Johnny Idol.
great tag
You know,
team.
working for Sheldon. And just... It was crazy, you know. And then I'd bring in younger guys, you
Yep.
know. We got the kick on Freddie Curry.
Oh, wow.
You know, like he was the first. He was around with us. Super green, you know,
Right.
super green, and just got to let him work. And then I'd bring in my buddies like Justin McIsaac.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, and Wagner didn't like that because I programmed it with Wagner.
Yeah.
You know, Wagner was used to working on top, and I was like, man, this is.
Right.
This is what we got to do,
Needs
right?
some
We got to
help.
build. We got to
Yeah.
build, you know. So, April Hunter and like, think about that locker room,
yeah.
that crowd that was in there.
Did you book the Steve Bradley Santa Claus thing? Were you there for that?
Oh, yeah,
That
it
was
was.
awesome.
Yeah.
He came over to my table. He saw Missy Hyatt book and goes, "Ho ho ho! What a ho!" I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
He hands me some lollipops. It
How
was
crazy
awesome.
is that, right? Yeah. Steve's like, I'm like, hey man, let's do something because Steve was just coming
Yeah.
back. He didn't think about running shows yet, or he had.
Right.
He wasn't telling anybody, you know. And I told him we want to do this thing and have him work with Alex, and he's like, yeah, I got the perfect idea. I
Nice.
fed it to Sheldon. Sheldon was like, yeah.
That was awesome. 'Cause
And
I
he did
remember
it.
leaving my table because I knew he was going to rip it up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see who it was.
Yeah. How insane is that?
That was awesome.
He was around the whole show.
Yep.
And because he was gone for so long, nobody had a clue.
Yo, I had no clue.
Yeah.
He said,
Nobody-
too, and he even gave me a clue, honestly, a clue. I haven't seen her since somebody's memorial show in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't. And I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I couldn't
Yeah.
figure it out. So
Amazing.
when he ripped that off, I was like, I was so
Crazy,
shocked.
right?
Never
Crazy.
expected it to be him in a million years.
Yeah. It was so good.
Beth Phoenix was on that show, too.
Yeah, she was.
She was,
Yep.
with the all-nighters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, the all-nighters, man, those guys,
They could work.
they could
I
work.
think
And
they
they were,
train guys now, too.
they
I
were
think they
so
train-
entertaining. I
Yeah.
loved those two.
Me too.
And I felt guilty because they were driving down from the Montreal area
Yeah, yeah.
for $50.
Wow, that dedication, man.
But man, they were doing it, you know, and I was like, you guys sure? Like, I was like, let me know when we're coming down again. Like, I'll try to get you more bookings.
Right.
But at the time, there wasn't a whole lot of, and if you worked for Sheldon, you couldn't work for Chaotic. If you worked for
which
Chaotic,
is
you
sad,
couldn't work for
because
Sheldon.
everyone should just try to, you know,
Now
get
it's
along,
now
man.
it seems like it's
Yeah.
everybody's a little more
I would hope so.
cohesive. You know what I mean?
You know
and
what I
you
mean?
can just work wherever. But
Get all these guys work.
yeah, but definitely there was clicks. I remember talking to Silvana Souza and about getting work down in Top Rope,
Yep.
and he's like, "Ah, you're a Costa guy. You're a Costa guy."
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to be a Costa guy.
I wanna be anybody's
I want to be
guy.
anybody's guy. I just want
Right.
to work and get paid, you
Yep.
know. And I wanted to work for Richard Burns.
Yep. USWF.
USWF, right?
Yep.
I can't think of who's the referee that he had. Freddie something.
Oh, I don't remember.
But he used to do the booking, right? And I remember just working, and guys would tell me, "Hey man, I'll put in a word for you. I'll put in a word for you."
Right.
So I went down to the show, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll give you work," and he paired me up with Chris Duffy. So I was gorgeous. I was gorgeous, Sonny. He was gorgeous, Chris Duffy, and I was beautiful, Sonny Duffy, or whatever.
Nice.
And that was amazing. Watching Brian Walsh. I've been
Yep.
working Brian Walsh and Mad Dog Richard.
Wow.
I did a couple
That's
runs
a
with
hell
them.
of a- That's a hell of a match.
I remember laying there watching Brian climb up to the top rope, giving me a splash, and I'm like, this kid's so effing good. And then I'm like, oh, he's gonna land on me. Oh, yeah,
Right.
I gotta get ready for this. Yeah, just like that kid was just,
Oh, yeah.
man, he made me look like $1 million.
I believe it.
Like just give him one shot and he sells it like I
Yep.
shot him with a shotgun. It was,
Nice.
it was so good.
We got 4 minutes and 45 seconds. I think we can cover these questions.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Justin McIsaac, which is Justin.
Never
J.
heard of him.
Yeah. Is it true that you shouldn't wash your gear until it smells like ammonia?
That's absolutely true. Till it smells like pee, you don't wash your gear. You leave it right in your bag.
I'm not going to say his name because it goes with the question. I will say the name after. Question for Sonny. Who's your all-time favorite mullet-wearing, comb-in-the-back pocket former referee?
So there's 3 of them to choose from. No,
Yep.
It was Dave Hogue.
Dave Hogue.
Dave
He
Hogue.
stopped me in Mark Bass the other day. Great guy. I told him you were coming on, and
Yeah.
he was psyched.
Yeah, I freaking love Dave. He's been my best friend since, I have 2 best friends.
Yeah.
DJ Barron since I was 7 years old. So that's 38 years.
Wow.
And then I met Dave when I was 10 or 11.
Right.
And
He is a great guy, man.
amazing. I'll not talk to Dave Hogue for 8 months, and then all of a sudden he just hits me up on Facebook or texts me, and we get together like nothing's
Oh, yeah,
ever
yeah. I have
changed.
a
You know
few
what I mean?
friends like that,
It's
too.
just
It's like nothing.
Yeah, like all of a sudden I'm like, hey man, UFC fights this weekend. Come over to the house.
Yeah.
He's like, cool. And then I won't see him again for another 8 months.
yeah.
You know, he does his thing, I do my thing.
Yep.
DJ Barron, we're all 45.
Yeah.
They're older than me. I'm 45. They're 52, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Dave's around my
They're not
age, I
52.
guess.
They're I think they're both 2 years older than me.
Okay, so, all right.
I'm going to be 46 next month. They'll both be 48.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things that just like we don't need to get there every day because I have a wife and 2 kids.
Right.
and
This life gets in the way.
Exactly right. We're all working jobs and
Yep.
But man, I love those guys to death.
Yeah.
Love them to death.
Like I said, Dave stopped me in the store. Hey,
Yeah.
man, Leo Connors.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what's up, Dave?
Was
It's been
this-
a while since I seen him. He was with his
wife, Patty?
Yep,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
seemed very nice, too.
Super, super nice too. Yeah.
Last question. We'll be able to do this. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Leo, can you both talk about your favorite moments of Jim the Anvil Neidhart's career?
You talk yours first.
Okay.
All right.
My favorite couple of things is when he won his first WWF title versus the British Bulldogs on Superstars, the TV program.
Yeah.
The second one was the SummerSlam 90 match where him and Brett beat Demolition 2 out of 3. Those are like and then coming back to form the Canadian faction of the New Heart
Yes,
Foundation.
that New Heart Foundation.
That was awesome.
So good. My favorite was Who
Yep.
when he did Who, and then when he wore those high pants with Owen Hart. Didn't he wear high pants with
He
Owen
wore
Hart?
the airplane pants.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. They
Yeah.
were blue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know why he was doing it, because Owen was with Coco, right, when they were wearing those pants?
But they wanted to put them together, and they were going to keep them together as a team. I don't know what happened, but they definitely were doing house shows together.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it because I know I read it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not an expert. I don't
Yeah.
try to be. But, yeah, pretty much they were, going to have them team, and who knows if they had plans to win the titles. But all of a sudden, he was gone again, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it was from injury or
Something else.
substances,
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a shame. Don't get me wrong. If we say something like that, it's no. I'm not trying to knock them. I'm not trying to belittle them because I know how hard it is to get off of drugs and alcohol if you have a problem.
Absolutely.
With it,
And
you
it's
know?
not like we're saying any, like, people
Right.
know it's out
Yeah,
there, you
yeah.
know. He has known issues with it, whatever. But I would say, like, the Hart Foundation,
Yep.
if you are going to put together the ideal team, that's it, man. You have
Oh, no
you have
doubt.
the speed, agility, and the just the wrestling knowledge of Bret Hart.
Yep.
And then the power
Yeah.
of Jim the Anvil.
Yep.
Like, you couldn't put together two more perfect people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the Bulldogs, you had a little bit with Davey Boy,
Right.
but they were a lot alike. You know, Marty and Sean,
Yeah.
a lot alike.
Lot alike.
Ali and Tarn, a lot alike.
Yeah.
You had two completely different people with,
Right.
but they worked together as one. It was amazing. I loved them.
And it was funny how, like you said, too, like, one's like a high flyer, the speed and all
Yeah.
that. Real quick, we got 40 seconds. War Raiders, right? Raymond Rowe, the smaller of the two, is the
powerhouse.
And freaking Warbeard Hanson Todd
Is the flyer.
Yeah. It's not crazy,
It's
but
insane.
it's just, I love
And
it.
it works so well together.
The
It works.
double team moves they have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
I like ending it on this because, right now, New England's all on top over there. They may not be the tag team champs, but it's just a matter of time till they get
Absolutely,
their shot. And Tommaso, unbelievable.
So
we talked
good.
about him quite a bit
Yes, we
on
did.
here.
Right
Sonny,
on.
I'm definitely going to have you on again.
Absolutely, Leo. Thanks for having me.
I really loved it. Guys, I'm out. This is the Ring of All Sports. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.